Hi there, this is Tammy with Tammy's Stamping Therapy. Um, Today I'm coming on with a different kind of a video, sort of. I have a monthly card class that meets in person each month, and tomorrow was the date for our card class this month. And due to what's going on with the coronavirus, I feel like it would be irresponsible of me to still have my class tomorrow and bring people together. The place we meet is an enclosed space. It's not very big, and there's no way to give people the 3 feet of space that's being recommended. So I canceled the in-person class, and I thought I would do it online instead. For those of you who usually come and make the cards or purchase the cards from me, you still can do that. Well, you can't make the cards. You can either get the completed cards or you can get the card kits. When I do card kits, I cannot include stamped images, so you would have to already have the stamps or use different stamps to make the cards. Stampin' Up! Doesn't let us sell stamped images. So the way to get them is to place the normal minimum order from my online store with Stampin' Up! Using the host code that I'll be providing, or to pay the normal $20 fee, and you will get, like I said, either the completed cards or the card kits, whichever you prefer. I'll be showing the host code a little bit later. So let me show you the cards we're going to be making. This is the first card, and you'll see the supplies as I go through making them. Hoping you experience love and joy today, tomorrow, and always. This could be a birthday card, it could be a wedding card, it could be anything you want it to be. And then here's the inside. This is from a really cool coordinating stamp and die set that's in the current mini catalog that goes through June 3rd. This is card number 2. This is a different kind of a fold. This is called a Dutch fold. So the top opens like this and the bottom opens like this. So I'll be showing you how to create that. And this is using the Honeybee stamp and die set. And then it also uses the coordinating Honeybee, well, Golden Honey designer paper, which is no longer available. It was free with a $50 order through the Celebration catalog. It's no longer available, but I already had these cards designed for this month, and I love this card, so I wanted to show you how to make this. You might already have these supplies. This is card number 3. This is the Bonanza Buddies suite, I think it's called. And I just love these little guys, and you can see the pattern on this paper. This is a lot of fun. So that's card number 3. And this is card number 4. This year Stampin' Up! Came out with some supplies or some products that coordinate with some of the Celebration sets or products, and I think it's called Sending Thoughts is the birthday that I used on here. Happy birthday. That's one of the Celebration stamp sets, excuse me. But then this die set that I'll be showing you is a companion die set that you can purchase. And then it's got a fun background there. And this is all I did on the inside. So let's get right to that. I'll show you how I made these cards. I'm going to try not to make this video too long, although sometimes it's hard. So for the first card, I'm using the Last a Lifetime stamp set, and the matching dies is called Lasting Elegance dies. This is what they look like. And I'm also using, I think these are called, they're stitched something. I'll put them in the description below. All the supplies will be listed in the description below. Yeah, these are stitched dies, which I love because they have stitching on the inside and outside of the image. So to make this card, I have a card base, which is top fold landscape. I have a die cut piece for the inside, which is this, and I'll show you on the dies. There's this fun die that does this part here, and then this die I did this corner, and I'm backing it with purple, so when you open the card you'll see the purple, which is kind of hard to tell. I should put my paper on here so you can see that's backed with purple. And then the front of the card is also backed with purple. And it is the same, although I'm going to do it this way. It's the same die here, but a bigger die here. I have two of those. Let's see. I thought I was organized, and then when I try to get stuff out, it's not as easy as I thought. So the first thing I'm going to do is put the inside of the card together because there's no stamping on the inside. Get all this stuff out of my way. So I'm going to use my Tombow Mono glue. And first I'm going to add this inside the card, centering it, hopefully. And then feel a little unorganized. I'm not used to making cards on camera. I'm usually making something else. Then this is going to go this way. So I'm going to put glue on here. And a little bit along all these edges. Doesn't take very much glue. When you're using liquid glue, it bonds the paper together. So you don't have to use very much. I'm going to center that. So it's fun that you can see the purple through there. It makes a nice card. And then for the outside, the first thing I'm going to do is put down my purple. Centering that on there as much as possible. Before I put this down, I'm going to cut a piece of ribbon. So I don't remember how much I need, like probably that much. And I'm going to put the ribbon through here and through here. And on my sample, I always make 2 sample cards. On both of my sample cards, the ribbon was an afterthought, so you should have seen me trying to thread this through here when it was already on the card. I was successful, but it was a bit of a challenge. So I'm going to tie this here. Got way too much ribbon, which is a bummer because I love this ribbon, so I don't want to waste it. I love this purple ribbon. This ribbon is mini striped ribbon, 1/4 inch mini striped ribbon. And I'll straighten that. And then I'm going to attach this with dimensionals because I want it to be raised up. So put dimensionals on here. I should have already put them on here. That would have been the easy thing to do, is to already have them on here. And I want some on these corners, so I'm going to cut little strips. So nothing is left hanging out. That's that side. Looks like I need at least 3 more of these. These are the mini Stampin' Dimensionals, which are really nice. It's fun that they're small. They have a huge border around the edge, and I always use the border. I don't want to waste any of it, so I always use the border by cutting it into these little strips. Or bigger pieces if I need bigger pieces, but for this, the little strips is what I want. 2 of them. Okay. So that's all that I need on there. I probably have more than I need. Take the backing off of all of my strips. I was very sad to have to cancel because I love all of these ladies very much, and I'm going to miss being able to see them. I also had a record number who had RSVP'd and were planning to attend this time, so that was a bummer also. Now I want to get this centered on here as much as possible, trying to keep my head out of the camera. I think that's pretty good, except it's upside down. I did it upside down, so this card is going to go the other direction. I knew something like that would happen at some point. And then I cut out this shape. Does it fit on there? Yeah, it's the same size I use. It just doesn't look. When you look at this stamp compared to this shape, the stamp looks too big. Usually I stamp and then die cut, and I did not do that this time. So I'm hoping I'm going to get it on there straight. Because with the red rubber stamps, it's harder to tell on a shape if you're straight. Ah, that's pretty good. It doesn't usually go that well. And then I'm going to close this before I have a disaster. Put dimensionals on the back of here. You don't need a lot because they are super sticky. Picked up one of the other backings under there. Okay, so this is improvising on the fly since I put this on my card upside down. Put this here. And then the last piece of this card is this flower spray. So this has been colored using the Stampin' Blends, Granny Apple Green, light and dark, Daffodil Delight, dark, and then these are Highland Heather and Purple Posy, light and dark. And the way that I color them, I'm not going to do the whole thing because I've already done it, but I'll show you how I color them. Just color. I always start with the light. Everybody does these things different. There's no right or wrong way. So I use the brush tip. Now I'm going in with the bullet tip and I'm just kind of going over the lines. That's it. And I did the same thing with, gotta find the right markers, Highland Heather. I did the same thing with this. I colored this flower with the brush tip. You can also color just with the bullet tip. You don't have to use the brush tip at all if you don't want to. You get better control with the bullet tip, I feel like. And then I'm going to go in the center with the Daffodil Delight. So here's my completed one. This one I did with the Purple Posy. This is the Highland Heather. And then the little, what are they? The little sprigs. These are colored with the Purple Posy Light, and this is with the Daffodil Delight. And I'm going to color the flowers in using my Wink of Stella. I love Wink of Stella because she adds that little bit of sparkle, but doesn't make a mess. I love glitter. I love the look of glitter, but I don't use it very often because I don't like messes. And it feels like once you open a tube of glitter, or any kind of glitter, you have it everywhere. So there's that. I don't know if you can see the sparkles or not, but it's very pretty. I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of here. Again, I don't need very many. And now this is going to go here. So that card is done. It is opposite from my original because I messed up and put it on backwards. Both of them work. And then that's the inside. Let's see. Get all that out of my way, and I'll go on to card number 2. This is card number 2. When you make this, make sure, well, when opening and closing, you need to be careful. I have this, either the top is a hair too long or the bottom is a hair too long, a hair too tall, but they catch on each other. It's just a hair. It's not very much at all. So that's that one. And to make that, you use a sheet of cardstock, cut one piece that's 4 1/4 by 9, and you're going to score it at 5 1/2 inches on the 9-inch side. That makes this piece. And then you're going to cut 2 pieces that are 2 by 2, and, well, let me see. Now I think I wrote it down wrong because they don't match. Yep. 2 inches by 2 5/8 inches. And when you cut this, you'll have 2 inches left, but it's only enough to make one of these. It won't do both. No, it will make both of these. Anyway, and then this is scored at a 1/2 inch. And so then you'll fold and burnish this score line, and you'll put each of these on individually, and I'll show you how I did that. And then these other dimensions are for the cardstock and the designer paper. So I'll go through all of that with you. If you get the card kit and you already have the supplies, it includes a 1/4 sheet of cardstock. This is Whisper White thick, and this is the way to stamp all your pieces on it so you can get them all on there. I stamped the hive, the big bee, 2 little bees, and then the flowers that face each other, and then the hello up here in the corner. There's not a die. We're going to cut that out. What did I do with my stuff? Oh, here it is. Thought I lost it for a second. So first I'm going to show you how to assemble the card base. So I have these 2 pieces, and I'm going to see, those are a hair too long. So before I even start, I'm going to cut a hair off of them. Actually, yeah, I'm going to cut a hair off of them. So my hair is just the width of this track. That way it's the same on both pieces. And now it may be too short, and I may have to end up trimming all of my layers also because of this. But now when I put this on here, it fits, and it's not going to have that issue. Don't know what's wrong with my voice this morning. Well, probably because it's morning. My voice doesn't like to work in the morning. So I'm going to put glue on here. And then I'm going to line this up with the right edge and the bottom. And I'll do the same thing to this side. The left edge and the bottom. There's a, oops, that's not the left edge. There's a little bit of a gap here, but I'm really okay with that gap because I'd rather have a gap than an overlap. So then this is your gatefold card. Let me start with the inside. This is 5 1/4 by 4, which means this is 5 by 3 3/4. And I have this strip that's a 1/2 inch by 3 3/4. This is from the Golden Honey designer paper. Just got glue on my finger. I'm going to put this inside my card. I'm the most clumsy person I know. Stuff like that happens to me all the time. So these are on the inside, the way this is attached, but you're going to cover it up with this. So you're not even going to see that. And that's why this inside is 5 1/4 by 4 instead of the 5 by 3 3/4 that I usually do, because I usually like a bigger border, but I want to be sure you don't see those. And I'm taking one of my little bees that I've already die cut. I colored his body with the Mango Melody Stampin' Write marker, and I colored his little wings with Wink-A-Stella. Love Wink-A-Stella. I'm going to put him right there. And next I'm going to take my Golden Honey designer paper and attach to this. I just had an idea of what I should have done that would have been helpful for you guys. So to see these, this is 4 1/8 by 3 3/8, which means that the paper is just 1/8 of an inch smaller. So the paper is 4 by 3 1/4. And then I will attach this to here. Just a tiny little border. And I'm going to see if I need to trim these guys. I think they'll still work okay. So I'm going to attach this to here. I think these are 2 by 2 1/8. This is Bermuda Bay. This is Soft Seafoam. And I like the way they go together. I think they look very nice together. Attach that on there. I could have trimmed it a little bit, but it works for me. That's that part. Now I have stamped and die cut the beehive. I'm going to attach this to the front of the card. It goes kind of in the center. And you can see I had a hair or something on my stamp, but that's okay. You're not going to really see that. This is the large bee. He's been colored also with the Mango Melody. And then on the outer wings, I've stacked 2 of the Stampin' Dimensionals, and in the inside, I have only 1. And that is because the beehive is already popped up once, but the wings are not going to be attached to it, just the body. So that lets me do this, and it all works. And then I have done the little flowers. I have both little flowers, also colored with Mango Melody and then Wink-A-Stella. This one I'm going to attach onto the beehive. kind of like this, just a little bit of glue. This little bee is going to get attached here. This flower has Stampin' Dimensionals on it. And I'm going to just go like this. And then the finishing touch on this one is this die set has a honeycomb die in it. And I die cut it out using the gold foil cardstock, and I got these 3 little, well, I got more than 3. This is the die, so I got a bunch of these out. But I think it's just fun to add them in here so they fit nicely into this pattern on this paper. So I'm gonna put one, if I can get them the right way. One there, and I might only be putting 2 on this one because I don't really see a great spot for the third one. Depends on the paper. See this one, the way I placed the bee, I put one here and one here, and then one over here. This one, I don't really have another spot that I want to put one, so I'm going to leave that the way that it is. And that is card number 2. Oh, not done. Sorry. The hello. The hello, there's no die for this. I'm just going to cut it out freehand. Doesn't matter if it's perfectly straight. It is a handmade card. Not everything is going to be perfectly straight. And I'm going to use just one of these little strips that I did before. And I'm going to attach that right in the middle of that little spot. So there's card number 2. All this stuff out of the way. See this cute little dish that I made? I am fascinated with resin. I've watched a bunch of YouTube videos, and this is my first thing that I made with resin. It didn't turn out the way I wanted, but I think it's very pretty. So it worked good for putting my little parts in. Card number 3. This is card number 3. There's the supplies. So this one is made, these guys are cut out of the designer paper. There is a sheet of paper that is all the little koalas. Some of them are wearing hats and some of them are not. But the dies that go with this set will cut these guys out. They don't cut the ones with the hats, but they will cut those out. So let me show you this stamp set and die set. This is Bonanza Buddies. Isn't this fun? The little parts, so you can make a lion, a toucan, or a little koala. This is the lion right here. And then this is the matching die set. So this is how you can cut these guys out, and they will cut right out of the paper. Very, very fun. You can also stamp and cut them out of the paper, but I wanted to show doing it this way. So what we've done here, I've taken this designer paper, which I think is a very pretty pattern, and in the middle I've cut it. There's a slit right there. The first thing I'm going to do is, using my bone folder, I'm going to try to curl these edges a little bit. And it's much harder to do on this other side. So I have kind of a funky looking page here. This has side fold card, and then there's 2 pieces of Bermuda Bay that are 5 by 3 3/4. I'm going to attach this. Let's see. I'm going to first attach the Bermuda Bay to the card. I saw on a video that someone posted recently about they don't like to use liquid glue because it would make the back of your card buckle. The key to that is not using too much. You can see that when I'm doing this, I am doing very thin lines. If I had thick lines on there, yes, it would buckle. But because I'm using very thin lines and not a ton of glue, there's going to be no buckling involved. And you don't need a lot of glue because glue bonds paper to paper. It's not just attaching it, it bonds it together. So it's very hard. Once this glue dries, it is very hard to get it off. And I'm being careful not to get glue too close to this because I need to stick my little animals under there after I've done this. So the Bermuda Bay was 5 by 3 3/4, which means the pattern paper is 4 7/8 by 3 5/8. I'm going to take a glue dot. I think that's how I did this. I made this one quite a while ago, so put a glue dot on each of these little corners. And then I'm going to roll them back. And the key that I'm trying to do here is to keep this edge straight up and down. I said trying, I don't think I succeeded. And then the same with this side, do the same thing. And you want them to be kind of the same. So like that. And then this guy, I've already put a dimensional on his little head. I'm going to add a little bit of glue to his body. And I'm going to stuff him in there. So he's peeking out. Same thing with this little guy. I've got dimensionals on the back of his head. Sorry if I just bumped the camera. I'll put a little bit of glue on his body. And I'm going to stuff him in there, peeking out. Oops, I don't want them to really overlap each other. Isn't that fun? And then the next thing I'm going to do is stamp. Where's my stuff? Didn't do a very good job of getting that ready. My desk was already a mess, and now I have all the stuff for 4 cards around me, so this is the only clean spot on my desk. It's not really clean, but I have to be really careful or the whole thing is going to collapse. And I'm trying not to get my head in here as I stamp this. This is Bermuda Bay ink, and this is the Happy Birthday from the stamp set. And the inside of the card, I don't usually stamp sentiments on the inside, but I did with this one just because I think it's fun. So I'm missing something else too. Sorry, I'm jumping to the inside from the outside. So this is what the inside looks like. So the first thing I'm going to do is glue down my little banner so that I know where I'm stamping. This little banner is one of the dies, and it's the back side of this paper. So I'll just put a little dot on each of those. And then I'm going to have this go from side to side. Isn't that fun? Then I'm going to stamp my sentiment. And what I forgot was this. I'll do this though after I put these guys in. So I'm missing, I lost a piece of cardstock. I'm missing, oh, I didn't lose it. It's already in there. Duh. Some days it doesn't help to get out of bed. So I'll put that in there. Then I'm going to stick these guys down with just a little bit of glue. Doesn't take much. And then I'm going to take my little, what would I call it? It's a little Starburst. I don't even know what color of ink I used. Huh. So, but I'm going to use Mango Melody because I like Mango Melody. Stamp that. I don't think I used Mango Melody. That's okay. I probably used Daffodil Delight, which is the ink that matches this paper. There's Mango Melody in those stripes though, so I'm good. So that's the inside of the card all done. Now this I'm going to attach. This is the 1 3/8 scallop circle punch, and this is the 1.5 inch punch. So attach that. So this is all going pretty quickly. The last card is a little more time consuming. I'm giving you advance warning. I'm going to put this right here, and then I can attach my bow right there. And then this has a glitter dot. Is that what they're called? I think they're called glitter dots. And I love the colors of these. I'm putting this on here. So there's my finished card. Isn't that fun? This is a really fun birthday card. And then for my last project, I'm going to make this card, and I'll show you the supplies for it. This is one of the Celebration stamp sets. It's a word set. It's got some fun words in it. Sending you thoughts. And then the companion that goes with it, it's called Sending Flowers Dies. So it has this fun circle die, and then it has these two pieces here that will cut out flowers that you can then 3D your flowers if you wanted to do this in color. And then it has these 2 banner dies. I've used this banner die and just this fun circle die. Excuse me. Need some water. So this ribbon is, this is the ribbon. It is crinkle seam binding ribbon, 1/4 inch, and it's white. I have colored this ribbon using my Night of Navy Light Stampin' Blend marker, and I'll show you how I did that because it takes a little bit to dry. I've already done that one. The best way to color ribbon, and that we have several ribbons you can color, and the Stampin' Blends work wonderful for this. You also could color your ribbon with re-inkers, and you would put some re-inkers and alcohol together in a little jar and put the ribbon in there and let it soak it up. But this is what I find to be the quickest and easiest way, is to just go like this. and the ink goes through, so you only have to color one side, and you use the flat side. Use the brush tip and lay it flat. If you do it like this, you're going to destroy your marker, but laying it flat, it does not do any damage to the tip of the marker. And you can see the ink went through both sides. So that's a lot of fun. Let's see. So here is my supplies for this card. And let me show you. See, we've got a lot of color going on here. So I'll show you how I did that color. I have a piece that is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. I'm going to color this with sponges and ink. So I'm using Pear Pizzazz and Pacific Point ink. I'm going to start with the Pear Pizzazz, and I'm going to do the bottom. And to do this, I try to get my sponge into like a circular. You could use a sponge dauber too. And you always start off and go up onto your paper. And what that does is it kind of stops from getting way too much on your paper, and it also gives it a nice blended look. I'm going to go up a little ways because we have the flowers in the way. Probably that's far enough. And then I'll do the Pacific Point on the other side to make my sky. And for this, I want it to be darker at the top, going lighter. Which Pacific Point is it's a dark ink anyway, so I just keep coming in from the top and going down a little farther each time, which is making my top dark like I want it and leaving a little bit. There. Didn't take too long, and it's kind of fun, although I have arthritis in my hands, so doing stuff like this can get painful for me. And let's see, what did I do with this? Okay. This is a top fold card. So 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. This is my front. Oh, not done yet. Sorry. Let me get this out of my way so I don't mess it up. You may have noticed that this has like little spots on it. I'm going to show you how I did that. I'm using my water pen, aqua pen. I don't remember what Stampin' Up! Calls it. And I'm going to squeeze till I get some water coming out of there. I don't know if you can see that there's water coming out of there. And then I'm going to go like this. And you do however much you want. That's probably enough. And I'm going to let this sit aside for a second. I got water on my paper, so I want to make that go away. Inside, inside. Oh, sponging. Yes, I forgot to do the inside. I did just a little bit on the inside. A little bit at the top and the bottom, not a lot, because you want room to write. I love the sponge to look. I go through stages. Sometimes I'll sponge the edges of everything, and then I won't sponge anything, because I also like things that are clean. Clean and simple is my style of choice. So there's how that looks. Don't want to leave those globs on there because they will buckle the cardstock. And I have a mark in the middle. Let me see if my little, this is an art eraser. It's called a sand eraser. You can get this at an art supply store on Amazon. I don't know if Michaels and Craft Warehouse sell it, but we have a stamp store downtown, and that's where I got it. And so you see I have this mark. You see that mark right there? Let's see if I can take it off. The mark is probably because my finger touched something it wasn't supposed to touch. And this just kind of takes off the top layer. So the mark is gone, but I went too far. It's okay though. I'm going to put this inside my card. I'm going to stamp my happy birthday from the stamp set. Kind of right in the middle of that. Oh, that'd be nice if it was straight. It'd be very nice if it was straight. I'm trying to do this from a different angle, so that's as straight as it's going to get. Nice thing is there's two sides to every piece of cardstock. It's down a little lower than I want, but it's okay. It will all be fine in the end. I'm cutting the ends in a flag fashion. And then, I don't know if you've ever noticed, but when you flip it over, you have a little edge from where you cut it. I don't know if you can see that. And I get rid of that with my bone folder. I just lay it down. Set that aside. So, look at this. See where we drop the water on here? It makes the fun little spots. I love the way that looks, and it was so simple. So now I can take this and add it to my card. I'm going to center it up at the top, making sure I have the same border on 3 sides. That's how I know where to put it. Isn't that pretty? I just think that's so, so pretty. And what I didn't do ahead of time, but what I should have done, so this is Whisper White cardstock. It is not the thick. It's the regular Whisper. Oh, maybe it is the thick. It is the thick. I first die cut this circle of flowers, and then I embossed it with the subtle embossing folder, and gives it kind of a linen look. That was a lot of fun. So now I'm going to put dimensionals on here. My camera doesn't tell me how long I've been recording, so hope this isn't too long. Oops, I got 2 right there, but that's okay. Too many is better than not enough. And I'll put one, I did it again, there and one there. Oh, I also put one on the back of this flower and put one on the back of this flower. When you're die cutting this, you need to run it through, I think I ran it through 4 times to get it to cut all the intricate cuttings that it has. It wasn't too hard. It might have only been 2 times, but look really closely before you're done. Like after you've run it through twice, look at the back, and you can tell by looking if it has cut all the way or not. And if it hasn't, you can line it back up again and run it through another time. Okay. And to do this, I'm going to go from the top. Oh, I got ink on my ink on the top of my card. And it's pretty much gone just like that. So I'm going to go from the top and try to line it up. there's that. I'm going to add this banner using dimensionals. I'll probably put 3 because of the length of the banner. Put this across here. Then I'm going to add this, also using dimensionals. I only need a couple right in the middle. And the last thing for this is my bow. Coloring the ribbon with the Stampin' Blends makes the ribbon a little bit stiffer. Interesting thing for this ribbon, I like that it makes it stiffer because this ribbon is very thin, and when you try to tie a bow with it, sometimes it's a little difficult. But the fact that I've colored it with the blends makes it so much easier to tie a bow. I'm going to add this bow using a glue dot. Right there. Don't know why I needed 2 pairs of scissors. So here are my 4 cards. Let me know what you think. If you want to get a set of completed cards or the card kits, let me know by sending me an email and I'll send you a PayPal invoice. My email is tammystampingtherapy@gmail.com and it will be in the description box below. This is the host code to use to place an online order. Anyone who places an online order of at least $25 for the remainder of March will receive either the completed cards or the card kits, depending on their choice. Or my Stamp Club people have the option of just paying a $20 fee to be there, and that also allows them to make the cards. As I mentioned before, Stampin' Up! Does not allow me to include stamped images in card kits, so you would get all the supplies but nothing would be stamped. You would need to already have the stamp sets. As far as ordering, you have to be in the United States to be able to order from my Stampin' Up! Website. And all the supplies will be listed below. I'm really sorry that I couldn't have my class this month, but as I said, I feel it's the responsible thing to do. And if you're not someone who usually comes to my classes, please let me know if you enjoyed this class and would like me to do this every month. I can show you my cards that I make every month for my card class if you would like to see them. So that's it for today. I hope everyone has a wonderful day and you're all staying healthy. Bye for now.